Morning lads and lasses, back in the workshop again. As you can see, my 0.2 centigrade. The cold easterly winds continue. Well, here's a knife I'm working on today. I'm going to put the profile into these handles, shape it and sculpt it, and then finally finish this knife off today. It's got figured bevel scales, very hard wood. I've got to be quite careful how I do this because first of all I don't want to overheat these pins and damage the bond of the glue. So I'll just be grinding a little bit at a time and waiting for them to cool down and then grinding again until I get them all flush. And then we'll go from there. So that's in its state now, so I'm going to just tidy it all up. Well, that's the first stage of the profile shaping. As you can see, I've taken the wood down to the metal profile now, and I've kept all the grinds square and straight. This marks the actual maximum thickness of the palm swell, which should correspond between the junction of these two fingers. Well, there's the layout lines. I don't know how well that's showing up, but the important points to note are that meets between these two fingers here. The thickness at the front here is the same thickness as that distance there, and that distance there is equidistant between that point there and that point there, and that should make a comfortable handle. So I'll just remove this material now. Okay, well, I've done the first sort of stage shaping, if you want. You know, I've done the chamfer going in, and you can see that there. And the fact that these lines going down at 90 degrees to that area tells me that I've held the wood square onto the grinder. So the next stage now is to form the hourglass shape on the back there. Right, you can see I've put the rough hourglass shape into the wood now, and we'll make that more accurate and more tidied up towards the end of the shaping. Next process now is to remove the edges, take the blockiness away from it, and I use the bottom of the wheel, and to give you some idea how I do it, I use the bottom of the wheel. I can look along the wheel all the time, bottom wheel on the platen I should say, and just go along like that all the time, start altering the angles to the way I want it to look. So that's what I'll do now. Well, you can see sort of contoured the edges now around there, took the blockiness away from it. Still a bit on the thick side. It's 27mm across the thickest part, just under 27mm, so I'd take about half to 3/4 of a mil off of each side by the time I get the finishing grits onto it. I just want to work this area here now, and I've changed changed over to the belt, to the wheel, which allows me to contour. Which allows me to contour this area here. I can also balance up the hourglass as well. Well, finished the contouring now, gone through fine grits. It's just a matter of just spending a bit of time with some fine wire wool and a special mixture of linseed oil and Danish oil, and gently rub that in. Come out very nice. Well, that's the knife almost finished. It's got to really just polish the bevel up, and then that'll be finished. But in the background, whilst I've been doing the knife, I've also been building the sheath, and you see where I am with the sheath now. I've got the welt glued in. That's where the fire steel will go fire steel holder. I've stitched the belt loop, triple stitched, put the D-ring on for the dangler, obviously dyed it and put the stitch holes in, so I'm going to get on and finish the sheath off now. Shouldn't be too long to do that. Build the fire steel, make the dangler, and all being well should be finished by the end of today. That's the sheath that's been wet moulded to that particular knife. Just use contact adhesive on the inner surfaces. So not only do I stitch the sheaths together, they're also glued.
sweethearts that e'er I've had, they're sorry for my going away. And of all those sweethearts that e'er I had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But